I'm your host, Scott Mays. We're here with Evan Ross, who's a Pennsylvania state trooper. Welcome to Unmuted. Welcome, Evan. Good to have you.
Thanks. I'm glad to be here.
So, how are things going for you today?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
I'm glad I got to catch up with you back in Philadelphia. You know, it's always good every time I come here. I check with you first, get to hang out and have some fun. So I'm glad we get to do this interview. The first things I wanted to talk about was kind of where you are now with work. Being a trooper in Pennsylvania, spend a lot of time in Philadelphia. Ooh, I know that can be a tough job, daily. So I want you to tell me a little bit about what you do, and how's it going for you?
All right. So yeah, I've been a trooper now in Philadelphia for 6 years. And you say Philadelphia. Philadelphia is the biggest city in Pennsylvania. So actually being a trooper here, opposed to being a trooper in other parts of the state, are a little different. In Philadelphia, we have other local police departments. Like we have Philadelphia Police Department. We have surrounding townships has their own police departments. So the state police in Philadelphia only cover the highways. Other parts of the state, they actually do cover, say, townships and things like that. But covering the highways can be kind of serious. We deal mainly with crashes on the highways, accidents, so motor vehicle crashes, and that pretty much takes up, I would say, roughly 80% of our workload at my station. Uh, Other than that, we do get a majority of different calls, uh, by like other than crashes. Say we call them rolling domestics, which is pretty much a domestic going on in the car. We
Oh,
get
okay.
so we have that. We actually being a city of the first class is a lot of things going on, and the population is very large. We roughly have about 1.5 million people that live in the city, and roughly 500,000 to a million people that commute into the city every day.
Wow, wow.
So you get a lot of things going on with, uh, I guess I would say people just getting frustrated with the amount of congestion in the area.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of arguments, domestic arguments, other than like rolling domestics with people actually know they're the person that they're getting into a fight with, but you'll have somebody fighting with, say, another person that's driving next to them just because they cut them
Oh.
off in the lane or something like that.
Well, how often does that occur where, if you're on a highway, people really stop and to have these arguments or they yell at the car, type of things like that?
Actually happens more often than you think. We get numerous calls from about that stuff on a daily basis. The general public is actually real serious, and they actually take note of everything that's going on. So we get, I would say, during the shift, you'll have at least probably 10 calls just for, say, motorists that may not be driving the way somebody else thinks they should be driving. So say if a person is swerving out of their lane, we'll get just erratic driver calls, which we call them. Then say 1 or 3 a shift, you'll get actually arguments on the highway
Wow.
where people are actually going back and forth, verbal, and then it's getting to where somebody's throwing objects out their car, other people's
Wow.
cars. Yeah, so it actually does get kind of serious out there on the road.
So I guess that can be tough. What are some of the pleasures you have, with this job?
I would say the most pleasurable part about this job is helping the public. A lot of people, they actually look at that or talk about that when they think about policing or helping the general public or being a school teacher. But when you actually help somebody out that really needs help, that actually is the most pleasing part of this job. I mean, you're dealing with the amount of crashes that we handle. It gets kind of repetitive, with things that occur. And that mainly happens mainly because a lot of people don't pay attention to what's going on the roadway. So even though that's a part of the job, it couldn't get frustrating, and you want people to be more on point with their driving, just to pay attention to what's actually going on around them.
I can see, yeah.
So actually, yeah, the most pleasing part about the job is actually helping people who definitely need help.
Yeah. So what does your average week look like?
Usually we work an 8-hour shift. We call it it's a 21-day kind of rotation. So you work 7 straight days. So the 7 straight days will be a Monday through a Sunday, and then you'll get the following Monday, Tuesday off, and then after that you'll work a Wednesday to the next Wednesday, and you'll get Thursday to Sunday off, and it's always 8 hours. So you'll get probably 1 full week and a month off. Throughout that time, I've actually got to the position where I can work 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. shifts throughout that whole time frame. So after working at 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. during that day, go grab my kids, 3 beautiful children from school. And after grabbing my kids is to taking care of them and life after work. It's my second job.
Yeah. Yes, I understand it'd be a second job. How did you get into this position?
Okay. So going back to college, I actually went to college for construction management or project engineering, which started. And after graduating, I had an offer to work with a construction company in Philadelphia, Turner Construction, but that offer they took the offer back. They rescinded the offer around like 2009 because of a hiring freeze. So actually my second passion when I was growing up, it was either working in construction or being a police officer. So I just decided that, well, since construction isn't working out in my favor right now, I'll try to be a police officer. So I started applying to different departments, and the state police was one of the departments. The Pennsylvania State Police and also Philadelphia PD were two of the departments I decided to apply with. And I came around to getting the opportunity to work with the Pennsylvania State Police.
Wow. So how was that like the first day? You apply, do you receive something saying, hey, you're accepted, come on in, let's kick your butt a little bit, get you in shape?
Nah, it's funny because you don't think about when you apply. It actually took me 2.5 years actually getting to the academy. So
wow.
The process was a long process. This is either a 7 or a 9-step process that goes through a background check, a psychological, to a physical, numerous steps that you had to go through, and all those steps took me approximately 2.5 years.
Wow.
So out of college, and being not even working in my field right out of college, it was kind of stressful on me and the family, not having a job that I actually wanted to be in, not making the amount of money that I wanted to be in. So we made it through it, but it was actually stressful. It's like you work to a means in college to try to build something, and then when that doesn't happen, it's like, all right, well, take a step back.
Yeah.
Then I'll try to move forward. And it took 2.5 years, but we got there. So actually, it wasn't just walking straight in the door and getting it, which I wish it could have been. I wish it could have been walking right in the door and getting it, but it just took time and got there. And just happy that I got to make the move towards being a police officer where I am now, than actually being in construction.
Wow. So after the 2.5 year process, and you for the application, and you pass all the necessary protocols, what's like the next step? What's the first step where you're there? And
so the first step after say that you pass all the steps for the requirements to go to the academy, and the academy is 6 months. So you get past the 6 months at the academy, and your first station that you go to, you get, which we call, say, it's another trooper. And that trooper is what they call a field training officer. It's actually what I am now. I'm a field training officer. So that trooper is the first trooper that you ride with coming out of the academy. And you get two actual troopers you ride with. And there are 30-day periods. First trooper you ride with the first 30 days. And you just watch that trooper and how things are on the road. What the daily job is. And actually taking calls and handling incidents with somebody just to get a feel for the job. And you do that as well with another trooper after that first 30 days with another trooper, and you see how that trooper works. You just get the vibe for how they are, how they handle situations. So that's actually your first experience out on the road. It's actually with somebody. But once those 30-day periods are up, you're actually out there on our end. You're out there by yourself.
What's it like? That's what I'm thinking about as well. What's it like to kind of get your own car, get that uniform, get that apparel and things like that? What's that like?
It's actually scary. A lot of people think that police officers, when they first come out of the academy or they first put a badge on and they put the uniform on and they put a gun on, that they're like superheroes, or they feel as though that they're above everybody. But truthfully, a recurrent thing that I've seen, even being a field training officer, coming into the job, being in their 6 years, you see that a lot of police officers first coming in the job, they're worried about setting a good impression, not only for themselves but for the other people around them, and doing the job the right way. So it's actually like, oh man, I don't want to mess up.
Yeah.
I come here to help out and actually do a job, and they do not. I felt the same way. Don't want to mess up. You're a little nervous. You want to just.
That's a good type of nervous. You want somebody to feel like they don't want to mess up.
Right. It definitely is a good type of nervous, and I guess that's a good thing, because the whole stigma of police officers nowadays is being cocky, and just to see when you see individuals that come out of the academy how they are, that they're actually not truthfully not like that. They're actually, they're nervous and they want to do the job right. They want to get things right. They want to please the public.
So at what point did you feel like, kind of get comfortable? I know with a job, often, you're nervous, and I know teachers say this all the time. The first year is, every day is different, and it's nerve-wracking. But after a while, you kind of get comfortable. You can come to work and you know what's going on, you know the motions, you know what you're supposed to be doing, and you kind of get comfortable with the job.
Right, and I think that's exactly what it is. When it comes down to being comfortable, you actually have to learn a job. And when you learn a job, you get more comfortable with what you do, and that puts your mind more at ease.
Yeah.
So it's actually learning what's required of you for doing the job. Makes you more at ease and makes you more comfortable with doing it.
How long did it take you to get to that point?
I actually don't remember exactly how long it took me, but I'm pretty diligent with what I do. So ease comes with knowing what your responsibilities are, and our responsibilities are one, vehicle code, and two, crime. And me myself, I think of myself as an ethical person, and I say, well, simply as far as the crime standpoint goes, I know right from wrong. So if it's wrong, then of course, a person should have some. It should be some type of either sentence or some type of recourse for that.
Yeah.
If it's right, all right, they're right. Move on.
Yeah.
So, it probably took me, I would say, a few months to actually get the hang of the whole city environment, just dealing with the highways. I wasn't a big driver before driver in Philadelphia before I actually got on this job. I actually had to learn the roadways a whole lot better. So one was actually getting to know my highways, getting to know my coverage area. And two was learning all the crimes codes and different sections of a vehicle code that a lot of people take for granted and don't think about in Pennsylvania and all other states. They don't even know about. So it's actually just being comfortable learning the job and learning what's required of this job. And it took a few months because it's a lot of reading. It's a lot of verbiage and things like that are different than you would just think any daily thing, even when we learn through school.
Okay, I can see that. So by now, do you know how to get from any one place in the area to another place? Do you know shortcuts and?
Yeah, that's actually a big thing because of the traffic in the highway, and I teach that a lot with new troopers that are coming on the road. That you can't just have one way to get somewhere. You gotta know a scenic route. You have to have a scenic route for a lot of stuff. The traffic in Philadelphia is horrible. Like from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. to say 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. is like heavy traffic congestion areas in Philadelphia. So you have like a 2 hour gap, and then the midnight hour time where it's actually you're able to drive like at a steady, consistent speed in the Philadelphia area. So yeah, it actually you do definitely need to learn like your area, and it took me, I would say, about a month because I am once again I've been in Philadelphia my whole life. I haven't driven it, but I've been around Philadelphia my whole life, so I knew the area, but still had to get myself more adjusted with the whole area.
All right, so you being from Philadelphia, from the area, are most people from the area, or do you recommend that the person, not saying you have to, but that it's probably good to be from the area because you might get used to some of the neighborhoods, maybe even know some people, things of that nature.
Yeah, I do actually suggest. I think that's a good thing if somebody is from the area, even though not a lot of police officers are from the area. We get a lot of different candidates. We've had people from New York be troopers in Pennsylvania. A lot of New Jersey people become troopers in Pennsylvania, and from other states other than the area. We have somebody from, I want to say, Nevada.
Oh wow.
A trooper. Yeah. But it helps when you are closer to here because you get to, if you're used to the people that are around here, it makes you a little bit more comfortable. Helps you with verbalizing, speaking with them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So I kind of want to step back a little bit as well. We see, kind of get a good picture of who you are now, what you do now. Let's see how you got there. You kind of started in high school. How was high school for you?
High school was pretty good. I came from Christian school to high school, which was Royal Communications Charter School in Philadelphia.
Our school.
Our school, yeah, our school. And came there in 8th grade, and it was good. It was just, I was pretty much a consistent student. Got homework, did my homework. Had study material, did my study material. So I was like I wasn't the best student, but I was consistent with what I did. I did what was required of me to do. And I like little things. I like basketball, so we played basketball. Played JV when we had the team. Played varsity when we had our team.
I should mention that Evan and I went to the same high school, and you'll hear about it a little bit later. Played basketball together.
Right.
Ended high school together on a good note. But yeah, I just want to say, make sure we our listeners knew that.
Yeah, you put that out there.
Yeah. So please continue.
So yeah, it was nice. Just it was good getting out of one school and moving to a different school to learn. I guess different people, because the school I was in, I dealt with a lot of my area school, a lot of people in either West Philly or South West Philly. But going into World Communications, we dealt with people from all around the city.
Yes.
So we got to see. You might not think that you have different ethnicities or different way people act differently. Just in the same city, just being on different sections of the city, mm-hmm. North to west to northeast. But you get to see how people act differently, or even talk a little bit differently, mm-hmm. just being a different part of a large city. Mm-hmm. So that was actually, to me, I think that was a big thing, because I actually got to see how different people in the city act, or how they talk, how they carry themselves, which is a good thing to say. But me as a student, I was pretty much a straightforward, run of the mill, just student. I didn't cause a lot of havoc, a lot of noise. I rarely was in trouble. But my mom made sure of that. My mom was pretty strict with that. So I definitely wasn't the troublemaker type. I would just get my work done, school, take it home. That was pretty much me.
So how was life with you and family during that time, growing up? You say, you went to the Christian school beforehand. How did your family, support you? What kind of makeup do you have for your family, first off? And then how did they, what was your chemistry like?
So the chemistry was pretty well good with my family. I had my mom's friend, a male friend, Mr. Wise, we call, and my brother and my sister. And that was pretty much that was pretty much my family right there who raised me. So it was, I would say, to not have my father pretty much in my life at that time. I did have a father figure, which was great. Yeah. My mom's from Missouri. She pretty much instilled in me, I would say, good values now to be a man, and I guess just a good mindset more so. Just watching how he acted instilled in me like a good mindset of how I should act or how I act now. So I had I would say good peers around me to show me what was right and how I should act. Not only was my house, but my neighborhood, my block. I lived on kind of Stoker Street, not far from where we are now, exactly West Philly. And my block was set up of a lot of families, husbands and wives and their children, and three of my best friends. We all grew up, and it was just as strict with, say, their mom and dad. If they disciplined me, then my mom or my brother disciplined me. I remember one time my brother disciplined me for running out in front of the street in the car, and I had to stay in the corner because I wasn't paying attention to what was going on. So I didn't just get it from my mom. My brother disciplined me without even my mom being there. And so I would say my family base was a pretty tight structure, a pretty good structure for me.
That's good. So it, throughout that time in high school, when you were family, you ended well and salutatorian.
Right.
Yeah.
Right behind you, salutatorian.
And we ended up going to school together, and then going to college together. Yeah. But so tell me about how, what kind of support you had in terms of going to school. Did anybody tell you, hey, this is, you're going to school, help you with majors? Did anybody really push you for that transition from high school to college?
Well, my mom pushed me. I would say she pushed me. She pretty much told me, you're going to college. As far as a major, she completely left that up to me. But the push was my mom. She's saying, my mom, I guess she didn't go to college. She got out of high school, got her diploma, but did not get a degree from college, didn't even start college. So my mom was big on that. My brother and my sister both went to college. So she really wanted that for all of her kids. So that want and need that she wanted, and then me seeing also my peers in high school feeling the whole need and want to better themselves, go to college, that instilled in me like a real want and need to actually step out and go to college myself. Even though I didn't know really what I had my young ambitions as a child. Oh, I like being a construction worker. I like being a police officer. So yeah, I like that, but I didn't necessarily know what it took to do that. So I did want to go to college. I still wasn't set on what I wanted to do. So I took up project engineering as a major, and ended up going to UMES, University of Maryland Eastern Shore. Applying at a number of different schools. And my mom actually pushed me to them because they gave me a full scholarship first before other schools. And I got a scholarship to UMES, and I got a partial scholarship to Widener, and also I got a scholarship to Lincoln. But my mom told me, whoever you get a scholarship from first, that's school you want to go to. So
people that want you the most.
Right. So we end up going with UMES, and graduated from there.
And so how was that college experience? I know we spent a good amount of time together, but always from your eyes, your perspective, how was college?
It was good seeing once again, you get out and you see different people. Now, UMES was secluded in the little town of Princess Anne, so we didn't get. I don't feel as though we got you didn't get the whole big college vibe that we see on TV and all that, because the campus when we got there was mainly work and schoolwork. I guess if you want to get a part-time job and sleep. I mean, we did a little, relaxed partying here and there, if you want to call it partying. But I mean, it really was. It was more like school, like just going to school, like being away at a boarding school almost.
Yeah.
Almost being away at a boarding school. So, but it was alright. It was different being down there. We dealt with a lot of Maryland. PG County, Prince George's County.
Yeah, a lot of kids from there.
A lot of kids from Prince George's County, and I found out that was their main college that they wanted to go to, coming out of high school. They loved UMES. So a mass majority of the people that were at that college were from Prince George's County. But actually, getting to see people from Prince George's County or just a different area other than Philly and how they act was a total shocker and just opened your eyes like that. People in a different state act completely different than you act. Completely different. How they dress, how they talk, what music they listen to, what kind of how they have their cars, how they fix up their rooms, everything, man. It's just a whole different. I wouldn't even say a different breed of people. Every people are people, but just a whole different how people are just being in a different state.
Yeah.
But
So, what brought you back to Philadelphia though?
I think one of the main things that brought me back was family. I think that was one of the main things that brought me back. Being around my mom and I guess my mom's friend, my brother, my sister. That family bond and connection. I guess I couldn't stray real far away from it. I actually did a couple internships with different colleges over the summers while I was in college, in construction companies while I was in college, and stayed in different states. But right after college, I came back one because I think one of the main things was because of family.
Yeah. Family means a lot to you.
Yeah, family definitely means a lot to me, a whole lot to me.
So as we continue to push forward, let's talk about what you see for the future. Let's talk about with family. We're in that conversation. What do you see next for you and your family?
All right. Well, yeah, I got my family now. So I had 3 kids and my lady Sade. So what I see next for us, well, we're looking to hopefully get married eventually real soon, get a house, and as far as the job, I look at retirement within 20 years, man. It's crazy because you don't think about that when you in high school, elementary, and all that. You don't think about retirement, but I think like, man, what if when I retire, I want to travel, I want to do this. So it's like trying to build a little foundation, getting a house, getting the kids ready to start, helping them blossom into working adults and grown adults, and just trying to build that foundation. And as soon as I build that foundation, just travel a little bit, man. So I'm starting to try to save money here, save money there, so we can start moving and seeing the world. 'Cause I got a little bit more into it, actually traveling and stuff, and thinking about traveling, just seeing the different type of people that are out here, like just being in the States. Then I want to go out of the States, gotta get a passport and travel country to different countries.
And so, what do you see in terms of your job? What do you see changed in the future? I know that being a state trooper, we picture that. We see TV and we kind of picture, as we grew up, this is what a state trooper looks like. How has that changed from when you were young to where the job is now, and where the job may be in the future?
I don't think it's going to differ a whole lot in the future. I think it's changed a whole lot since the past, and I would say the past is with like in the last 20 years. The whole stigma of a police officer in general period was pretty much I think like if you were seeing a white male, say 6 feet, 200 some pounds or something like that. And actually, with state police, they actually used to have that kind of requirement. It would be not necessarily a white male, but it would be a male that was that requirement like 6 feet, at a certain weight, that they probably either were single or married, and they looked at their background. They actually looked into all of this stuff. But nowadays, it's more so if you're willing to do the job and capable of doing the job, you have the opportunity to become a trooper, and that's actually how it should be. If you're willing and capable to actually do the job, then you should be able to do it. And I think that's the best way to do it. And that's how I see it now. And being as though that's not how it is now, I don't see it changing in the near future. I'm glad it's that way. And I'm hoping that it doesn't change, because willing and capable people should always be able to do this job. And not just, I guess, a certain type of person or shape of person.
Yeah. So you talk about you're a teacher, and you feel in field training.
Right.
What are some of the important things you want to instill on the kind of incoming groups?
One of the big things is being safe. What we call officer safety. It is people out here, and I don't even want to hurt the public. They want to hurt us. Just because you one wear a uniform, it's kind of like a symbol of the government. So a lot of people are they're not big on the government having control, or people pretty much don't like people being in control. So this whole uniform at times has like a controlling type of vibe that people don't that dislike. So one of the big things is officer safety that I try to instill in the guys that I do train coming out the academy. And it could be not only officer safety from people out there, but from themselves, because you gotta be aware of your surroundings. Like we know we are on the highways a lot, so you gotta be aware of cars flying past you or things like that, or just your surroundings. So yeah, that's one of the big things that I try to instill in guys on this job is just having a good officer safety mindset.
So being here in a high school graduate, they did very well. In college, had a great college career.
Right.
What are some things, some teachings you would leave for a kid that's coming out of high school and thinking about their future? What are some important life lessons you would leave for them?
Well, I think like within the past 5 years, dealing with my nephew. My nephew's he's actually about to turn 18 soon. And I noticed with my nephew that not everybody has the mindset or will for college. So what I want to instill in my son, and what I've been trying to instill in my nephew, is that college actually is not for everybody. I mean, there's other paths out here that people can take and be successful. Everybody doesn't succeed in college, even if that's the path that they want to take. So I mean, that's what I would like to instill in people, and it's hard to actually decide. Oh man, is college actually good for me, or should I take another path? What path should I take? How is that path going to benefit me? I mean, it's called all trial and error. It's all trial and error. So I try to instill in my nephew and my son coming up that everything that I do is not for you, but you should do something. Work towards something. But just because I did it doesn't mean that you have to do it, and that the way I did it is going to work the way you want it to work. So I try to one, like everybody else, you live and you learn. Just like I lived my life, I definitely did things that my mom's friend, he told me, look, do it this way, it'll be better for you. But what did I do? I did it my way. Live and learn, and yeah, I did it my way. He told me the way to do it. He told me the way to do it, and I should have listened to him. And I'm like, Dad, if I did it his way, I'll probably be 10 steps ahead. Now I'm back where I'm 10 steps back and moving towards it. But I'm trying to like work towards telling my nephew and my son that, like, look, try to do it this way. And when I'm telling them this, try to explain it in a way where they can say, all right, you know what, I'm gonna do it that way. Because they said, all right, he messed up this way. But, it's trial. People live and they learn, and everybody has to do things their way to learn it. But that one thing is that college might not be for everybody. If you want to, say, get a like apprenticeship with something, do that. That's completely fine, man. Get an apprenticeship with something and work it out that way. You don't have to go to college. Or... if whatever you want to do, you want to go to the military. If that's the way you want to do it, go to the military. Like, actually, if I would have went to the military, if I didn't do college, a lot of guys, they went to the military before they got this job. In the military, they can actually buy back. Which you get time from the military. You buy that time back. So 5 years, you can actually retire 5 years earlier. You can use that time from the military. So I actually encourage guys, like, look, if you're coming out of high school, want to do it, if you like the military and then want to be a police officer, go to the military. And you can use that time to your benefit when you actually start working. You can retire at 46 years old, man. You can retire.
Wow,
with a great pension, and you can travel the world if you want to after that. If you really wanted to, you really could. So I try to tell my nephew that, look, if college is not for you, I got another route for you to take. School, books might not be for you. here's another option. Or if that option is not good for you, think about where you want to go.
Yeah. So what other things, like, kind of want to end with kind of your discussion with your family as your, well, first off, let's start there. How old are your kids?
I have an 8-year-old daughter, a 2.5-year-old daughter, and a 1.5-year-old son.
And as they become adults, you talked about your son. What about your daughters?
That's kind of shaky, man, because I'm not a female. So, yes, I know life experiences as far as a man and what I could do. And I would just, as I would tell my son, I would tell my girls the same thing. But taking it from a standpoint of a female growing up in a female sense, I leave that a little bit to my lady to say, all right, well, females are raised a little bit differently, or this is what a female should do, how a female should act, carry yourself a little bit as a female. I'll leave that to her to teach those type of things. But I would definitely teach my daughters or tell my daughters exactly what I would tell my son regarding college is not for everybody. I mean, and you can do whatever you want. If you want to be in, like, a lot of females, they have more of a fashion sense. If you like fashion, go out and do fashion if that's really what you want to do. I mean, I support my family and my friends to the fullest. With any goals or means that they really are passionate about, and I really support that. So I mean that's just my little thing.
Well, I appreciate this interview, Evan. It's always great to talk to you.
Thanks, bro.
I'm so proud, so glad that we got the chance to have the interview and talk.
Like, I appreciate this love, man. I really think this is a great thing to actually get out and speak with people.
All right, well, thank you.
Thanks, bro.